Hi guys, it's me. Welcome back to my channel, Story Tale. So it is finally almost the end of the year. So of course it was the perfect time to do the end of the year book tag. I love doing book tags, as you know, but of course those are not successful videos, but I do not care. I do love these kind of videos, so I'm gonna do it anyway, whether it works or not for everyone. Of course it is a very bit old thing, not many people are doing it, but again I don't care because I love it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Of course I'm not the original creator, I'm pretty sure everyone knows, so of course I'm gonna give the link in the description down below. You can check the original video or original author of it. I'm gonna put the questions in the description, so if you want you can play this game too. You can answer this question for yourself too. I'm not gonna be showing any physical books because I'm getting married in December, the first week of December, and all of my books are almost packed. There are only one or two books out and most of them are packed, so of course I cannot get it out, so you're gonna have to bear with just the pictures which I'm gonna put right here. So you have to be satisfied with that. Now without wasting any more time, let's begin. So the first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Of course, yes. I mean, who does not, right? I did start The Golden Enclaves by Naomi Novik this year, and I did find it a little bit interesting than her previous two books, which is A Deadly Education and The Last Graduate. These two are the books in the School of Man series, which is a dark academia kind of series, which I've been following for now 2 or 3 years. I was more than disappointed with these books. I like it, but I do have a love and hate relationship with these books. But anyway, I do want to finish the series, and that is why I have to finish Golden Enclaves, and that is why I did start it. But of course I got a little bit busy with the wedding preparation, and also I have this target to finish books A to Z this year, like alphabet wise, and that is why I got busy with that. So of course I could not finish it, and I do want to finish it next year. There's also Dracula, which I have not been able to finish for like 3 years. So let's see when I'm gonna be able to finish that. Also want to be done with The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. I did start it, but I've started this book for 2 or 3 times. Again, that is also a very big book, so it's gonna take a lot of time. So I'm not gonna be able to finish it this year. I might try to finish The Golden Enclaves this year. I might, if I get a little bit of time after my wedding. If I get time, then I will. I'm not so sure about that, but The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue, I'm gonna keep it for next year because there are a lot of books that are lined up for the next year. So I'm gonna do that next year too. The second question is a question that I've never understood, and I do not understand the point of this one too. It is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? What is autumnal book? Like, I do not know. I know that it is maybe something related with cold or winter. I do not know. So I do not actually have any names for you, but I do want to transition into Christmas books because of course the holiday seasons are coming, and I always love reading around holiday seasons. I'm gonna be a little bit free of course on the Christmas, so I'm gonna read some. So the holiday romance books are the only books that I want to transition this year because of course it's Christmas and you have to read Christmas books. Let's go to the third question. Is there a new release you're waiting for? Yes, I am waiting for Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare. This was supposed to be released this year, but it is gonna be released next year, maybe by the end of the January. It is the last book in the Last Hour series. This is the series which I again have a love and hate relationship. I loved the first book, I loved the characters and everything, but I hated the second book. It was so disappointing, it was so boring. So I'm really looking forward to the third book because I do have a lot of expectations from it. It may be good, it may not be good, I do not know, but I'm still waiting for that one. Other books I do not have any in mind because again I've been a lot busy. So of course there are a lot of series or sequels that of course I'm waiting for, but I cannot recall anything right now, and I still have not made my list for the next year or the books that I'm going to be reading, at least the new releases. I do know the books that I'm going to be reading which are not new releases, but any new releases I do not actually have anything in my mind right now. I still have not done my research or anything, so this is the only book that I'm waiting for. The fourth question is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? This is an easy question because of course everyone has a TBR which people do not finish. So like I've said many times in many of the videos that I want to finish books from A to Z. I want to read all the alphabets this year. So of course there are certain books that are still left for me to finish. There's still 3 alphabets for me to read. There's F. I can either go with Frankenstein, which is the old classic book, or I can go for the new release of Matthew Perry, which is supposed to be, I think, a biography, if I'm not wrong. It's Friends, Lovers and Big Terrible Thing. So I may go for that one too. And there's also Y, which is left, and I have decided to read Yellow Y for that. This is an author which I'm not so sure about. This is going to be a short story because I do not read many short stories. And there's also the letter Z, which I've not still decided which book I'm going to read. I do have one in mind, but I cannot seem to recall its name. So I might read that one. So there are like these 3 books that I have to finish by the end of this year, because I have no other choice, because I do have to finish this target. Even if it's the last thing that I do, I'm going to finish this A to Z challenge, because when you're not able to do many things that you thought that you will do, and when there's a lot of stress in your world, these are the little achievements that you crave, and I do want to have this achievement. I know it's not a big deal, it's not a first world problem or second or third world problem. It is just my problem, or this is something that I want to achieve. I just want to do it because I just want to have that self achievement kind of a thing. This is something very personal to me, so I want to do that, and I'm going to do that anyhow. The 5th question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Yeah, I do not think so, because I do not have many books lined up anymore to finish. If maybe I start The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue, it might, because of course I've heard a lot of praises about this one. But in the past I have been a little bit disappointed by V. Schwab. I did read her Gallant book, which was not worth it, to be honest. So I do not have high hopes anymore for The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. But still, if I finish that book, it might become my favorite, though I'm not so sure that much. Now let's go to the last question. The last question is, have you already started making reading plans for 2023? No, I do have a little bit, but it's not very much planned, which is so unlike me. I'm someone who likes to plan everything, even though I'm very bad at executing them, but I still make plans. I do have a little bit of idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to be reading a lot of sequels. There have been a lot of books that I've read this year which have been a little out of my zone. I have never read those. I mean, I have read those books before, but it has not been my main focus or main genre that I actually read into, but I've actually enjoyed them. So I'm going to be reading the sequels of those books, and there are also many standalones that I still have to read. So of course there are a lot of books I'm gonna be reading next year. I want to read more of Colin Hoover. I do want to do that. I also want to read more dark romances, because people have started to love those one. Those are the videos that is actually working on my channel. So of course I want to read those. Maybe I'll try a little bit of the toxic romance just for the sake of it. I will read it because it's not harming anyone, is it? So I might try it. I'm not sure, but I might try it. I do want to look for more paranormal romances, because paranormal romances somehow I've left behind. There was this time when I always just used to read paranormal romances like vampires, werewolves, fallen angels, or someone from other creature, not aliens. I do not like aliens stories, but I was reading a lot of those, and I'm not reading any now. So of course I want to look into that. But again, this year I'm getting married, so I do not know how the next year is going to be, because of course there are a lot of burden on a newlywed. Like, people expect you to do many things or be many things, be a certain way, do this, do that and everything. I do not want to get into that, but you all know, right? So let's see if I get time to do everything that I want to do. Next year is going to be a new beginning for me, like everything. I have always believed that marriage is basically a milestone, and I'm pretty sure many of you will agree. This is the biggest milestone a person has, and their life completely changes. And especially when it comes to women, it completely changes from your room to your clothes to everything. It does not have to be, but the society, how it works. No matter how much you want things differently, but it's not. At least not yet. At least not yet in India. So there are a lot of things, but anyway, next year I'm not sure how it's going to be. So of course any plan that I make is going to be just stupid, because I do not know what next year is going to look like for me. So I have to see that, and I have to change or adapt accordingly. But anyway, that was the end of the questions for end of the year book tag. I really wish there were more questions. To be honest, just 5 or 6. I really did enjoy more the mid-year freak out book tag. I think it had more nice questions, like very much book related, and this one, it was okay, but it needed 3 or 4 questions more. I do not know, I'm not going to add anything into it. That is not something I want to do, but I still think there are a lot of the questions that can be answered here, more book related, more the books that I've read last year, so it needed that, like especially who is your favorite author, or which new author that you discovered this year, or something like that. What is the book that you actually loved this year, what was the disappointing one? So I need more of those questions, but I did not got those one, but it's okay. I'm gonna have those answers for you in my videos that are gonna be coming. But for right now, let's wrap up. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you like this video and if you like my other videos too. I will see you very soon. Take care.